Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Tori and I'm so passionate about sharing non-toxic and clean, healthy living with you guys. So in today's video, I wanted to share my top steps to detoxing your home and living a more natural lifestyle. I'm so passionate about non-toxic living and just how it has transformed and changed my whole life. And I have so many videos planned for the upcoming month about non-toxic living and just how to make that simple and affordable for you guys. So be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of those upcoming videos. So over the past few years, I have been working so hard to detox my home and just really clean the air in my home. We're so aware of pollution and smog and everything in the outside world, but it's actually been said that the air inside our homes is more polluted than the air outside. And this is because of things like paint fumes, cooking fumes, flame retardants, mold, and just so many other things that we use in our home. And because we spend so many hours a day in our home, even if it's just sleeping, we spend so much time in our home, it is so important that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that our homes are a safe place for us to be. So that being said, here are some of my steps and tips that you can take to detox your home and live a more natural life. So the first thing is switching to non-toxic cleaners. So this was one of the very first swaps that I made in my life, and it makes such a big difference, especially because you're using your cleaners every single day. You're cleaning things that you're constantly touching. You're cleaning your countertops where you're putting your food. You're cleaning your floors where you're walking around. If you have kids or pets walking on your floors, it's so important to be using a cleaner that's safe for them. I actually have a whole video where I share different non-toxic recipes, and I have 2 favorite non-toxic cleaner recipes there. So I will have that linked above. But one of my favorite parts of that is also just that I don't have to have bottles and bottles of cleaning products. I don't have to have a million different things for different purposes. It's really simple because the same ingredients can clean basically everything in my home. If you're still using conventional cleaning products from like Walmart and you don't really understand why that matters, I really recommend that you do some research on that. There can really be such detrimental effects to our endocrine system, our hormones. It can impact getting headaches or allergies or asthma. It can even impact your sleep. And I didn't even think that I was sensitive to cleaners and stuff like that until I removed them from my home. Now I just notice how sensitive I am to them, and it really triggers my allergies and everything right away. Switching out your cleaners is really just such an easy and affordable switch to make that makes a huge difference in your life. My second tip for you is houseplants. So obviously you guys know that I love houseplants. I talk about plants all the time. I think that they're so beautiful. I think that they really help liven up a space, but they also have really cool health benefits. They help to detox the air. They take out things like pollutants, formaldehyde, carbon monoxide, and they just really help to purify the air that we're breathing in. Obviously, if you have pets, you want to be aware of the plants that are potentially harmful to your pets. We trained our dog not to go anywhere near the plants because I just didn't want that to be an issue. And it took a couple months, but now he's awesome. He shows no interest in my plants at all, so I'm not super worried about that. Plus, he's just never left alone in a room where there are plants and where we could have potential problems. But of course, that's something to be aware of. My third tip is not to wear your shoes in your house. I've always been pretty indifferent to this. I've never had like a strict no shoes rule, but I'm also not the type of person to always wear my shoes in the house. I just kind of like do whatever happens that day. But recently I just really realized how gross it is to wear shoes in your house. When we're walking around outside, we're stepping on things like dog poop or dog pee that we don't even see. We're walking around in public bathrooms that are really disgusting. We're stepping on pesticides. We might be bringing pollen into the house. There's just so many things on our shoes that we really don't want in our homes. So your best solution to that is just leave your shoes by your front door. And if you do end up walking around inside your house with shoes on, just be sure to give your floors a quick mop afterwards because you just don't want all of the gross stuff on your floors. Okay, my next tip is to ditch scented products. This honestly might be the thing that I'm most passionate about. I just really don't find that scented products have a place in our life at all. They're not a necessity at all. They're just something that we've been convinced that we need. We've really just been told by marketing companies that we need these scented products in our home to make our homes clean, which is so not true, and it's actually completely opposite. Those scented products, like those plugins that you plug into your wall, the candles, those are making your home anything but clean. I have completely ditched any scented products like candles, air fresheners, air spray. I don't even know what they are. It's been so long since I bought anything. But I only use essential oils. I only use pure essential oils in my house, and that has made such a big difference. So if you aren't aware, nearly all candles are made from paraffin wax, which is a petroleum product, which you do not want to be breathing in. You don't want that in your home. It's not a safe product. It can trigger so many respiratory issues like allergies and asthma, and that was definitely the reality reality in my own life. And again, I didn't realize these problems. I didn't realize that I was sensitive to things like candles because I wasn't showing any sensitivities that were abnormal. But once I removed those products from my home, that's when I noticed the difference. And of course, beeswax candles are a better option. There can be a lot of benefits to beeswax, but you have to make sure that the product is 100% beeswax, because often it's only 5 to 10% beeswax and the rest of it is still paraffin wax. So again, that's really just like a marketing technique to make you think that it's healthier than it really is. And along with the wax is just the fact that fragrance is such a dangerous product. Basically, fragrance is an umbrella term that companies can use, and they don't have to disclose what goes into that because it's proprietary, and by disclosing that, they're telling you how to make their fragrance. So there's this loophole where they are allowed to put basically any single thing in that fragrance, and they don't have to tell you what it is. So personally, I think that that's really scary. I don't want to be putting these mystery substances into my home, breathing them into my lungs, around my family, my dog, everything like that. So I avoid those things at all costs. Some other ideas if you want your house to smell really good is obviously diffusing essential oils, essential oil spray like I said, but you can also bake something in the oven, or you can boil some water on the stove and add cinnamon or clove or lemon or something like that, and it'll make your house smell so good without any of the nasty chemicals. Okay, my next tip is to change your furnace filter. I'm not going to claim to be a professional HVAC person at all. I honestly know nothing about it, other than the fact that it is so important to be changing your filter every couple months. It's obviously going to be different depending on how often you run your furnace or your air conditioner. It's different if you have allergies, it's different if you have pets, especially pets that shed, but just do some research on how often you should be changing your air filter for your lifestyle and make sure to be doing that. When we first bought this house, we put off changing our air filter for a couple weeks just because we were busy, there was a lot going on, it just kind of wasn't our top priority, and our house just smelled really musty. My allergies were kind of bad here again. We know that the people that lived here previously had pets, and the house was also empty for several months before we got here, so it was just dusty. But when we changed our furnace filter, I noticed such a big difference. The house smelled better, the air just felt better, and it's definitely an affordable thing that makes a really big difference. And then open your windows. I live in a very, very cold climate, and it is not possible to open my windows. A lot of the year, we actually have our windows like completely like sealed off to help with the heat retention. But the second it is above freezing outside, basically, I had my windows open, even if it was just for 20 or 30 minutes a day. It makes such a difference. Like, I noticed such a difference in just how I feel. My house just feels so much more fresh. And like I mentioned at the beginning, the air inside of our houses has been proven to be worse than the air outside, so it's important that we are cycling that air, getting new air in. Like I said, if you live somewhere cold, just try to open your windows for 10, 15, 30 minutes a day, and I promise you will notice a difference. I hope that these tips were helpful for you no matter where you are on your non-toxic healthy living journey. I know that it can be really overwhelming when you first start, and there are so many things that you want to switch in your life, and I just found that really overwhelming when I was there. So it's really just always my goal to help you guys not be overwhelmed with that process and just encourage you to make little switches in your life, because I promise those little switches add up and they make a really big difference. And if you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future non-toxic living videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.